Today is the sixth Sunday of Ordinary Time, and it's the last Sunday before we enter into the season of Lent. This rotation of readings comes from the Gospel of Mark, and we see Jesus in the beginnings of his mission, healing, casting out demons, and being that source of hope and of salvation throughout Galilee. Today he heals a leper who simply and humbly comes to him and says, "Lord, if you will it, you can make me clean." And the Lord simply responds, "I do will it, be made clean." The power of Jesus' words to affect the desire of the man and Jesus' desire to fulfill that wish for wholeness and healing. I had never met a leper in my life until in 1992 I went to Jamaica to visit my brother Will, who was doing mission work there, building houses for the homeless. That was his fundamental purpose in Kingston. He had run out of money, and so the parish I was at the time did a fundraiser during Lent. We raised $50,000 and we sent it there, and I went down with a video camera just to make a video to show the donors what their money was doing. In his spare time, when he wasn't building houses, he was helping this group of religious sisters who ran a home for lepers. So during my visit, we went over there and I celebrated Mass there. And I have to admit, I was a little nervous. I'd never met a leper before. And it seems so biblical that we may wonder, are there still lepers in the world? And there are, in places like Jamaica. So I went in, celebrated Mass, and there were people that had lost toes and fingers, people that had lost their hands, their arms, their legs, some people whose faces were completely disfigured. At the end of Mass, I went up on the floors and took communion to the patients who were too ill or bedridden to come down for Mass. And all my fears fell away from the second I walked in, because I have never been with a more joyful group of people. Here, these people that were suffering leprosy, who in many cases may have been pushed out of their homes, not sure, or had nowhere to go, were welcomed and loved by the sisters. So the sisters were literally the incarnation of Christ's love for these people that lived on the fringes. And because they knew God's love mediated through the sisters' care and concern, they were just exploding with joy. And you'd think it would be the opposite. And yet, here's people that suffered greatly, had lost everything, and had very little to begin with. Absolutely explosive with joy. And I think often of the situations in my life or your life, seemingly little things that can just pop our joy in a second, and we let ourselves be defeated. As we enter into Lent, we call to our mind and heart that this is a season of joy. It's sacrificial, yes. It's filled with mortification and self-denial, yes. But all of that is just to empty us out and free us up, so that when we approach the Sacred Triduum and enter into Easter, we know an explosive joy that comes from the empty tomb of Christ and flows from the Sacred Heart of the Lord. So as I ponder this leper who was healed by Jesus 2,000 years ago, I think of those lepers from 1992 that witnessed the joy of Christ to me.